Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Chef Confidential is sponsored by Mosseri Produce, one of the best family-owned food distribution companies, proudly serving San Diego since 1946. Learn more about their seasonal, local, organic, and sustainable foods by visiting mosseriproduce.com. Welcome to Chef Confidential, where we get under the hood and into the kitchen to learn the art, science, and passion of cooking from great chefs.
Welcome back to the Chef Confidential Show. A special thanks to our sponsor, the Mosseri Produce, serving great customers like Sequan Casino, Pizza Port, and many others in the San Diego area since 1946. It's a long time for that family. Nino, I'm your host, David Vicardapone. Remember me?
I know who you are. Everybody else, tell everybody else who you are.
Let's get back to where we left off and wrap that up real quick because I really want to ask you some really good stuff at the end here. We left off the experience. Can an individual have just an independent review of food versus having the whole restaurant experience?
It's real difficult to do that. You know, when you when you have to try to turn something around, you got to go over there and just try your best, and make the people feel comfortable, make them feel like you care, you're going to take care of them, because we really do. We want to make sure everybody that leaves the restaurant leaves 110% happy.
And that starts right from
the
lady
taking
your reservation.
So I'm still here. They can't get rid of me. I apologize.
Yeah.
But so when you mentioned about when a kitchen can be off, is it usually a function of front of house?
No. The kitchen can be off. Remember, everything that's done back there we do fresh. So maybe somebody put too much salt. It happens. I'm sure you've been to a restaurant where you ate something and you go, you know what? Maybe it's a little undercooked. But that could be just your opinion, because it's like cooking a steak. We have a Sicilian ribeye come back every once in a while. Somebody goes, "This isn't medium. This is medium rare," and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, "Well, dumb, cut it in the middle, and you'll see what it is. Obviously, it's going to cook a little more on the ends than it is in the middle. It's just like you take a steak, you cut it. It's going to have different. It's going to be cooked a little different all the way through. You got to give it a chance sometimes. You don't just dig in the first piece and look, kind of look at it, and think about it.
Versus chicken, fish, veal, pork. Is steak harder to work with to get it right for people?
Sure it is. Everybody has a different mentality on what rare, medium, and well done is. Everybody.
Their own taste.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
everybody,
absolutely.
and sometimes they go by looks.
Yeah.
You look and they see it a little more bloody, and they think, oh, it should be cooked more. Well, okay, no problem. We'll cook it a few more. That is one thing that is probably the hardest thing to do in a restaurant is cook a steak. I think.
Is that what is in your experience the most the dish that comes back the most? Would it be a steak?
Probably, but just because it's not cooked to their liking. But basically,
now when that happens, you don't give them another piece of meat. You cook it to their specifications.
If they have not cut into it, and obviously if they want it cooked more, but obviously if they want it cooked less, I got to give them a new piece of steak.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, you can't reverse that heat.
Yeah.
Goes back to the science in college. You can't unboil an egg.
I tell you, he's smart.
Yeah. Hey, David, David, mentioning that show you mentioned, which I also happen to see, it's Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. The 4 elements to become a great chef is to controlling all those 4.
Correct.
Phenomenal show on Netflix. I'd recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
But one of the things in that show, Nino, was pretty cool is this restaurant. You know the restaurant, Chez Panisse, where they actually they cook over an open flame. Like you're outdoor, in a campfire. How much more difficult would it be to cook with a flame? Is it, or maybe it's easier? Is it easier to use open flame like that versus like a traditional oven?
No, it's a little more difficult because the grill is hotter in certain spots, and it is colder in certain spots. It's just like a brick oven. When you have a wood fired oven, it is cooler in some spots. You have to know where to put the. Let's say you move the pizza to this side because it's being cooked too much. You turn it to the other side. Same thing with a barbecue. Like
I'm going to clue you in on the show. They actually discussed that. You're 100%. That's what they said. It's hot spots and cold spots, and you have to know it.
I told you. I know what I'm talking about. I already told you.
All right,
guys
Nino,
that.
listen.
Why'd you guys?
All right, I want you to take us out of the restaurant, your home. You're cooking your favorite meal. What music are you listening to? What wine are you pouring? And what are you preparing?
Now I'm going to tell you why. Okay.
And what are you wearing? I mean, I just would like to know.
That's a little too personal. So basically, you've been to Barbusa.
Correct.
You see how the vibe is in there. It is very alive. It is. There's good music playing. It's loud. People are laughing.
It's a social scene.
I'm telling you, when I get out of there, I need ear therapy. I mean, I don't like anybody to talk to me. So I go home, I put on a little Frank Sinatra, and I'll throw something in the oven. Let's say that one of my favorite dishes is rack of lamb. And like I said, what we spoke earlier about it. When I do that,
How do you prepare that?
That fig sauce. Basically, I take a rack of lamb, I sear it on the stove. A little bit of oil, a little bit of spices, salt, pepper. Very simple. Then I take it and I smother it with this fig jam that I make.
You make your own, or you?
I make my own fresh.
Wow.
I make my own fresh. Smother it on there. I take it and I put it in the oven at probably 400 degrees. And I cook it probably, I'd say a good 6 minutes because I like it very rare.
But did you say you sear it a little bit first?
I sear it first on a pan.
How long do you sear it for?
In a pan. I sear it for about 2 minutes each side. What it does is it traps all those flavors in there.
Medium flame?
High flame.
Oh, for searing is high flame.
Super high. Yeah. So it traps everything in there. And then what I do is I take it, I put it in the oven, smear all that fig sauce on there, pull it out after about 6 minutes, and I let it rest. Why do I let it rest? You're going to ask me?
Because it's still cooking.
No.
More chemistry's happening.
Okay, why do I let it rest? I let it rest because if I take it and I cut it right away, all that juice is going to come out. It's just going to go away. If you let it rest, it's going to seep in there. And when you cut it, it won't go. It's going to stay inside the meat.
Got it.
Okay? So I let it rest. And this is for any steaks you're cooking. You should always let them rest a little bit.
Okay.
Just for like a couple minutes.
So rack of lamb with a fig jam. What are the
rack of lamb with a fig jam.
What are the side dishes?
Wine?
What are the side dishes?
Side dish, I just do a little spinach. I really like spinach. And a tiny bit of potatoes. Just a little bit of pureed potatoes. Very simple, and that's it.
Red potatoes, any particular
there he goes
potato?
with the potatoes again. Okay. So I love the way he says potatoes. So what I do is I do a nice creamer potato. I give it a quick boil. I take it, mash it up, salt, pepper, a little butter, and eat it.
And what's your wine?
My wine is going to be a Meritage. I love Meritage.
Oh, so do I. I love blends.
I love blends.
The French gave us something wonderful.
Goes great with the lamb.
The French, they gave us
the Bordeaux.
They gave us a Statue of Liberty. They didn't give us any wine. The wine's from Italy. Get out of here. Didn't they bring the Statue of Liberty? I think it was them that brought it. We didn't bring it.
And that's
any particular. Because I like Meritages too, and I like to try different ones.
You know what? I like to try different ones. I do not have a favorite one.
All right. Thank you. You've been listening to Chef Confidential with our great local chef, Nino Zizzo, and your host, David Bacardapone, and we'll see you next time on Chef Confidential.
I've been bragging about Progressive Medical Center to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to have Dr. Agoli with us because, Dr. Agoli, a lot of people walk through your doors, and some of their biggest problems are they're just fatigued, they're tired all the time, and even though they're dieting and exercising, they cannot get the weight off. Why is that?
It's a combination of poor metabolism, inappropriate eating, but more importantly, it's due to a lack of education and really doing the right testing. A lot of our patients are metabolically compromised. What does that mean? Their metabolism is not functioning. The metabolism is responsible for all physical and chemical processes necessary to sustain life, and that includes energy. And without cellular energy, your body is not going to be a burning machine. Let's get back and teach our listeners to be a fat-burning machine.
It's been a lot easier to maintain my weight since Progressive Medical Center started treating me with all-natural supplements, learning proper nutrition, and that can be you today. No more frustrations about being tired or overweight. So why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today through progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.
Are you seeking to change your career to something that is both fulfilling and challenging? Do you want to help people reach their full potential and strive to achieve their dreams? Would you like to inspire those around you and help create a better world? If you're serious about a career change or just want to explore the craft of personal coaching, contact Accomplishment Coaching. With locations across the country in Washington, D.C., Seattle, Chicago, New York City, and San Diego, Accomplishment Coaching is the leading institution in personal coaching. Our staff carefully monitors the entire program, live during the training process, and have met the strict standards of ICF International to achieve accreditation. Through a focus on quality instruction rather than endless modules of training, Accomplishment Coaching will guide you from your very first step all the way to becoming one of the finest coaches in the world. Visit accomplishmentcoaching.com to learn more. Accomplishment Coaching, where coaches lead and leaders coach.
Christopher McAuliffe is your source for the latest in the world of personal coaching. Whether it be speaking with such luminaries as Deepak Chopra or getting the newest techniques and innovation, the coaching show is always on the cutting edge of what's happening now.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What? Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID communications.com.